Oh, snap. Welcome back to the channel, y'all. My name's Patrick. You like true crime? Awesome. Hit the subscribe button. Hit the thumbs up button if you've been waiting. Come on, y'all. Hit a little thumbs up button action. We got 32 of them already. Shout out to TikTok. We're live now as well. I'm a little late tonight. Sorry about that. Trying to upload videos, and it's crazy as hell. But here we are, y'all. We're here. We're ready to go. We're gonna be talking about Mica Francis tonight. Jesus Christ, it scared the hell out of me. Oh my God. I hate when I do that too, and it's because I'm running late that I left the audio on. All right. I hope y'all are ready for this. Mica Francis. This one says this sounds crazy as hell, y'all. It says the bombshell news update. So I'm gonna shrink myself down. Let's jump right into it.
Hey guys, welcome back. We are talking about the bombshell today.
Oh Lord. And y'all, this is Crimes and Theories. Go subscribe to her channel. She's pinned down in the description. Awesome content. Let's keep it going.
I knew this truck would come back into play at some point in time because there is just too much suspicion around it. The day has came where we can now start talking about it. Robbie Harvey dropped a powerful bombshell this morning that leads us back to this famous picture. The picture that broke the internet early on in Mica's case. John Paul Miller and Susie Skinner.
You were the one who took the picture of John Paul and Susie in the restaurant parking lot just days after Mica's death.
Oh Lord.
Correct.
Angela Clark, one of Mica Miller's own friends, was on a date with her husband when she saw John Paul Miller and Susie Skinner.
We walked back through the mall and exited up near where the restaurant was. And as we were walking toward our car, because the mall was closed, there weren't many cars there. I would say maybe 5-6 cars in the area that we were parked.
Uh-oh.
And as we walked toward the car, I
Oh, hey, my mom's in the chat. Hey, Mom. What are you doing?
looked up and there was a car with a
Love you,
solid
Mom.
rock sticker on the back of it. And I remember clearly thinking, God, what are you trying to say right now? I just need a break from this right now. You know, my heart was hurting. And as I looked up, I saw the profile of a man and realized very quickly that it was John Paul. I did not know the woman that was with him, but it was clear that there was a very serious conversation going on. They were standing very closely together. It was,
Oh hell.
disturbing to me. I had been told about Susie by Mica. I do not know Susie. I did not know what she looked like. I didn't know anything about her. But my husband just kind of squeezed my hand and said, you know, let's just get in the car. As we were backing out, I told my husband to stop for a second, and I just snapped the picture really quickly, more out of curiosity whether this was the woman that Mica had shared with me she felt like John Paul was having an affair with. And I sent it to someone who would know, and to find out if that was who it was, because it was clear, one man, one woman, kind of an intimate looking setting in a parking lot.
Hell.
Very serious conversation. To me, as her friend, it went all over me. I was very upset. As we backed out, he looked up right when I snapped the picture. I don't know that he knew it was us. He would have known us. I mean, we were very much in their lives. We did life with them when we were at the church. So we traveled together. We had dinner together. We did things together. So he would have known us. But as we backed out, John Paul kind of ran between the cars closer toward our car, kind of threw his hands up like he was disgusted.
After the photo was taken, John Paul Miller, who drove separately from Susie that night, jumped into his truck, and he began to follow Angela and her husband.
And as we pulled out, the truck ran up on our bumper. We made the left. The truck made the left. He followed us around that frontage road, following us very closely on our bumper. Now you have to realize this is a completely empty parking lot.
Oh hell.
And you know, there's part of me, I know that my friend has been shot in the head. I don't know the details of her death at this point. I do know the stories that I was being told by her. And my husband's ex-police. he's not scared of John Paul. I mean, he knows how to handle himself in every situation. He's pretty good at it. And he was pretty angry, that he was following us like that. And I mean, let's face it, emotions were raw. We were raw. You know what I mean? Mica had come back into our lives, within that last month, and we had not seen her or been around her other than just cordially social, just in public settings, hugged her neck, that kind of thing.
Mm.
And we had really connected. She was going to church with us. She was Mica was doing well. So I was really in a bad place with her death. I just, knowing the stories that she had been telling me and how rough things had been for her,
Right.
I just didn't want a confrontation with John Paul.
All right, here's the bombshell. What makes her statement so powerful in this case is the fact that she saw John Paul Miller driving a charcoal gray truck.
He drove this dark gray.
Whoa. And that's the one from the gas station video, allegedly?
Ford F-150. And we've all seen the surveillance footage, and there is a dark Ford F-150 circling the gas station parking lot multiple times. And though we don't know if that's the truck that John Paul owns, but what do you think? Do you think that could be the truck?
I definitely had that feeling. I had a very strong feeling about that from the beginning. I brought it to several people. Everybody kind of dismissed it. Everybody was talking about a blue truck. I wasn't even aware. Like I said, John Paul wasn't really in our life. We had seen him before Mica reconnected with me. We saw him at Barnes & Noble in Market Common. He was definitely driving the silver truck that day. We all went to the parking lot at the same time. He got in the truck in front of us and drove off. And then, of course, the incident in the mall parking lot, he was in that dark truck as well. And someone said to me, no, he's got a blue truck. And I'm like, I don't know if he's got a blue truck or not. He was definitely driving a dark gray truck both times that we've seen him.
Why is this information just now coming to light? Because Angela's statement has been written off since the very beginning due to the simple fact that John Paul Miller doesn't have a gray truck registered underneath his name. But that's okay because this guy does. Mark Kaufman. Mark Kaufman, aka John Paul Miller's best friend.
Oh, hell.
Best man, and at the time, co-owner of Crocodile Rocks. Now, former members of Solid Rock have seen John Paul driving Mark's truck, but if you wanted to double check and go check out Mark's truck yourself, you can't, because it was sold a few weeks after Mica Miller's death.
Dang.
If we needed any more proof that JP intended to take out Mica in any way that he could, the Lord provided. Because in February, hours before Mica was admitted to the hospital, John Paul placed a very important phone call to a family law firm looking for help on a divorce. This woman, Melissa, answered that call.
He used the words that he had forced her into the mental hospital and that as of that day, she was in the mental hospital.
Casey, thank you.
And the call was on February 7th. He went on to say she'd been in and out of the mental hospital 5 to 6 times. He actually used the words, I've tricked her into getting help. And she's been in and out of the mental hospital 5 to 6 times.
Oh, hell, that's crazy.
One of the things that stuck out to me in the call is that he continuously kept reiterating that he was a pastor. And it was like, okay, to say that the first time or two, that's fine. You're just giving me your background. But when he continued to say it throughout the entire call, especially as he was talking about her mental health and reasons that he wanted a divorce, to me, it was a red flag, almost like you weren't trying to just tell me who you were, but rather make me believe that you were a good person or maybe build some type of character. So one of the questions he did keep asking me in the call was, is my attorney a shark? Was his exact words that he used. And so I answered it politically correct. I said, well, she's very passionate about her clients. She will work hard for you if she represents you. she will fight with passion, like it's her own case.
Oh, damn. Diamond, thank you.
That wasn't a good enough answer for him. He kept saying, well, I really need a shark. And towards the end of the call, one of the statements that really stuck out to me as a red flag is he used the words, I need someone who can destroy her.
So if you guys remember Mica's
Oh, hell.
best friend Charlotte's interview coming out multiple times saying that she knew JP was tracking Mica the day of her passing. And this video footage at the pawn shop of a truck pulling into the parking lot and pulling out quickly, which also, by the way, I think this truck right here is actually blue. Is it now accurate to say John Paul Miller knew where Mica was that day? If it were him driving that truck, if it was someone he knew driving that truck, the evidence is piling up. Remember, we still don't have proof of John Paul being at that soccer game that day. No, just a picture of the blue truck on a highway. Now, another huge question in this case. Where's the truck, Mark? Why did you sell your truck, Mark? Is it because your jackass friend tailgated someone in it shortly after it was already caught on multiple camera angles at the same gas station Mica was last seen at? Those are
That would be crazy as hell.
some pretty big questions you need to answer. Huge, huge bombshell today, you guys. I really feel like this was the kind of video, the kind of information that needed to happen in Mica's case. Huge credit to Robbie Harvey. Amazing job. Let's keep the ball rolling and let's just keep talking about it and praying that we can get some justice for Mica.
Amen to that. I mean, the only thing is that, I mean, it's a gray F-150. How many, like, millions of those trucks are there, you know? But that is weird. Same place that she goes into. Is it a coincidence? Is it just easily written off? Who knows? That is crazy, though. Oh, Lord have mercy. All right, let's keep going. Actually, I think the next one is Robbie Harvey. It's the one he did about the final hours. So let's continue on, shall we? Spiritual Diamond, thank you for that. TikTok, hit the follow button if you're new here. Tap the screen like crazy. We don't even have the 25,000 likes yet, y'all. Let's get 25,000 likes. Hit me with those bears. Thank you for the love. And YouTube, hit the thumbs up button. We got over 100 people watching, but we don't have 100 likes. What? Y'all, hit that like button. Subscribe if you're new. And let's jump into this one.
Robinson County 911, what's the address of your emergency?
I'm about to myself, and I just want my family to know where to find me.
Oh, man. Yeah, y'all, this is the Robbie Harvey. So make sure you go subscribe. Pinned down in the description.
I got a call late last night. My wife has passed away. Yeah, it was self-induced.
I need to know the paper trail. Who's in charge? We got a lot of assets, a lot of money to guard. It's not
only unto her so long as you both shall live.
And you're texting me at this point saying I'll be at your house at 12:55. I'm armed and ready.
Please.
Oh, hell.
I'm so depressed. I want to die. I'm battling suicidal thoughts.
I
have unforgiveness, hatred, demons coming out of me.
She got the weapon for self-protection. She told me days beforehand.
A lot of people, hey, sir, a lot of people want to know if you murdered your wife.
You know, I looked
Dear
at
Lord.
her phone and I counted over the past 2 years, 18 people who had texted her and said, if you ever want to talk about your husband, you can talk to me and say anything and I'll keep it confidential.
Bride of Christ, and he sees his bride going through abuse and it hurts. I think he thinks about that.
One day I'm going to preach about getting rich, strong, healthy, and finding a hot wife that loves Jesus. That's what I'm going to do. I'm just kidding.
He just fell in love. That was her heart. Walk away.
I'll show you the pictures.
Do you want to go to jail?
Oh Lord.
Alrighty, you'll be in jail in a few hours. So I texted him, and he pretty much immediately just started begging for nude.
One thing I have great peace about between me, God, and my wife is that I was the best husband I could possibly be. And if I went to do it over again, I don't think I could have done any better.
Man, that is
So you
crazy as
believe
hell.
that moments before Mica died, John Paul Miller was tracking her.
Yeah. And honestly, I'm just sent a shiver down my spine.
Shauna, thank you.
11:38 in the morning.
Miller, thank
Mica Miller leaves her apartment and heads for work. And according to multiple people who spoke to Mica hours before her death, they say yes, she was stressed about her pending divorce from Pastor John Paul Miller. But they also say she was in good spirits. And we even know the podcast that Mica was listening to right
Jessica,
before
thank
her
you.
death. It was a podcast encouraging her that it was going to be okay to leave her husband, that it was going to be okay to begin her new life. Because Mica, who loved the Lord, truly believed that divorce was wrong, according to the Bible.
I wrote a book on this with these two words as the title. And the two words are necessary endings.
She was really struggling with the decision to serve her pastor husband with divorce papers and a restraining order request just days before her death. But that
Lord
wasn't the only
Stacey, thank you.
decision that she was struggling with. She struggled with turning in the one place that she loved with all of her heart. She turned her church into the IRS. This caused a lot of stress and turmoil in her life and within her relationship with a crumbling marriage between her and John Paul Miller.
Please stop, Micah, stop! Stop! I don't have your purse.
And she tried her best to solve this peacefully. But it seems Mica's mind was made up. She had decided to move on. And according to friends and family, she was becoming her old self once again. But on April 26th,
That's the part, y'all. Everybody always says that. They're like, no, she seemed like doing something like that was the furthest thing from possible. What do y'all make of that?
7th, 2024, after leaving for work, something happened. And Mica didn't show up. And she showed up at Dick's
She's in her work clothes right there.
pawn shop to purchase a firearm. And according to friends and family, she had been talking about it for several days to protect herself because she feared for her life. But the police have a different story. They say this is where she purchased the weapon and this is when she decided to take her own. From there, she drove to a North Carolina state park where she supposedly pulled the trigger herself. But it's the route that she took to get there that bring a lot more questions than answers.
Right.
Now, we all know
Jessica,
the
thank
story
you.
by now. She stopped by a gas station, purchased a few things along with some gas, and then headed to Lumber River State Park where her life ended. But now there's new information that has forced me to go back and look at every detail regarding that day.
Oh, hell.
For example, many of you believe that Mica was being tracked that day, being followed. And according to Charlotte Korn, Mica's best friend, she had a conversation with John Paul just hours after Mica's death. And she believes John Paul admitted that he was indeed tracking Mica that day. So you believe that moments before Mica died, John Paul Miller was tracking her?
Yep. And honestly, kind of sent a shiver down my spine.
But there's a couple more
Whoa.
things that many have not caught on to. For example, take a look at this truck pulling into the parking lot and immediately backing out. Pretty odd, considering the truck
Kind of creepy.
didn't do a U-turn. It continued
That's
down
right,
the
thank
route
you.
that it was already on. A few minutes later, Mica walks out of Dick's pawn shop. But instead of going straight to the state park, Mica went the opposite direction and stopped at a random gas station 40 minutes out of the way. According to multiple people who live in Myrtle Beach, they say that this route makes no sense if she was heading to the state park. And take a look at the gas station itself. It's not exactly a beacon of cleanliness.
He says not exactly a beacon of cleanliness. Damn.
Friends and family of Mica say she would never stop at a gas station like this, unless she had a reason. And when the surveillance footage was released, thousands around the world scoured through it, looking for that infamous blue truck that John Paul Miller is known to drive. But on this day, that truck was nowhere near Mica Miller. It was far south of Myrtle Beach, hours away from where Mica was. But what if we were looking for the wrong vehicle? Remember this photo? Just 4 days after Mica passed away, John Paul Miller was seen in a restaurant parking lot with Susie Skinner. This is nothing new. We've all known this. But we haven't known what happened immediately afterwards. Until now.
Oh,
you
hell.
were the one who took the picture of John Paul and Susie in the restaurant parking lot just days after Mica's death.
That's correct.
This is Angela Clark. And her husband are very familiar with John Paul Miller. So familiar, they would consider themselves good friends for many, many years.
Oh, hell.
We walked back through the mall and exited up near where the restaurant was. And as we were walking toward our car, because the mall was closed,
Sherry,
there were
right?
cars there, I would say maybe 5, 6 cars in the area that we were parked. And as we walked toward the car, I looked up and there was a car with a Solid Rock sticker on the back of it. And I remember clearly thinking, God, what are you trying to say right now? I just need a break from this right now. You know, my heart was hurting. And as I looked up, I saw the profile of a man and realized very quickly that it was John Paul. I did not know the woman that was with him, but it was clear that there was a very serious conversation going on. They were standing very closely together. It was disturbing to me. I had been told about Susie by Mica. I do not know Susie. I did not know what she looked like. I didn't know anything about her. But my husband just kind of squeezed my hand and said, you know, let's just get in the car. As we were backing out, I told my husband to stop for a second, and I just snapped the picture really quickly, more out of curiosity whether this was the woman that Mica had shared with me she felt like John Paul was having an affair with. And I sent it to someone who would know, and to find out if that was who it was, because it was clear. One man, one woman, kind of an intimate looking setting in a parking lot, very serious conversation. To me, as her friend,
Oh, hell.
it went all over me. I was very upset. As we backed out, he looked up right when I snapped the picture. I don't know that he knew it was us. He would have known us. I mean, we were very much in their lives. We did life with them when we were at the church. So we traveled together. We had dinner together. We did things together. So he would have known us. But as we backed out, John Paul kind of ran between the cars closer toward our car, kind of threw his hands up like he was disgusted.
After the photo was taken, John Paul Miller, who drove separately from Susie that night, jumped into his truck, and he began to follow Angela and her husband.
And as we pulled out, the truck ran up on our...
Drove separately? Oh, hell. How are you going to take a girl on a date and tell her to meet you there? Oh, man, that's crazy as hell.
Our bumper, we made the left. The truck made the left. He followed us around that frontage road, following us very closely on the bumper. And you have to realize this is a completely empty parking lot. And, you know, there's part of me, I know that my friend has been shot in the head. I don't know the details of her death at this point. I do know the stories that I was being told by her. And my husband's ex-police. He's not scared of John Paul. I mean, he knows how to handle himself in every situation. He's pretty good at it. And he was pretty angry, you know, that he was following us like that. And I mean, let's face it, emotions were raw. We were raw. You know what I mean? Mica had come back into our lives, you know, within that last month. And we had not seen her or been around her other than just cordially social, you know, just in public settings, hugged her neck, you know, that kind of thing. And we had really connected. She was going to church with us. She was, Mica was doing well. So I was really in a bad place with her death. I just, knowing the stories that she had been telling me and how rough things had been for her, I just didn't want a confrontation with John Paul.
But here,
I mean, the craziest part is literally that we've heard like the recording where she goes, if anything ever happens to me, or not the recording, but like she told her sister that or whatever, or maybe there's a recording. I feel like I've heard it, that if anything ever happens, she ends up with a, Gypsy did it. You know what I'm talking about? Like, holy hell. It's crazy. Who says that? I don't know, y'all. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you think. This is crazy as hell. By the way, TikTok, hit the follow button if you're new. I see some new people coming in. Tap the screen like crazy for me. Thank you for the little donut things. Y'all are sweet. Thanks for supporting the show. YouTube, we got 100 likes. Let's go for 200. Hit the subscribe button if you're new. And TikTok, if you want to watch the videos with us, like actually see the videos, you can. You just got to come over to YouTube, search The Mystery Project, and you can find it. Come on over. We hit 17,000, like what, a live stream ago, 2 live streams ago. Now we're at 17,163 subscribers, y'all. Crazy. Let's keep going.
Here's the interesting part of it all. John Paul Miller wasn't driving the blue Ford F-150 that we've all come to know. He was driving a dark, charcoal F-150.
Oh, hell.
So everyone's been focused on the blue truck, even Robinson County Sheriff's Department. But you were really the first one to come to me and say he didn't drive a blue truck. He drove this dark gray Ford F-150. And we've all seen the surveillance footage, and there is a dark Ford F-150 circling the gas station parking lot multiple times. And though we don't know if that's the truck that John Paul owns, but what do you think? Do you think that could be the truck?
I definitely had that feeling. I had a very strong feeling about that from the beginning. I brought it to several people. Everybody kind of dismissed it.
Who was saying that this got debunked?
Everybody was talking about a blue
Did it actually? Is this not that truck at all?
truck. I wasn't even aware. Like I said, John Paul wasn't really in our life. We had seen him before Mica reconnected with me. We saw him at Barnes & Noble in Market Common. He was definitely driving the silver truck that day. We all went to the parking lot at the same time. He got in the truck in front of us and drove off. And then of course the incident in the mall parking lot, he was in that dark truck as well. And someone said to me, no, he's got a blue truck. And I'm like, I don't know if he's got a blue truck or not. He was definitely driving a dark gray truck both times that we've seen him.
And one of the reasons Angela was dismissed about this theory for so long is because no such truck exists under the registration for John Paul or Solid Rock.
You like forced me to be his friend.
Right?
Forced me to be his best man.
Introducing Mark Kaufman, best buddies with John Paul Miller, and at the time co-owner of Crocodile Rocks, a local bar in Myrtle Beach. That's right, a pastor, co-owner of a bar. And guess whose name this truck is registered under? That's right, Mark Kaufman's. Once finding out about the truck, I reached out to multiple current and former members of Solid Rock Church. They all confirmed that John Paul did indeed drive a dark-colored Ford F-150. And some say that in certain settings, the truck could be considered black, depending on what time of day it is. And to make this even more interesting, there's this. Just weeks after Mica died, and not long after he was seen driving the truck following Angela and her husband, the truck was sold, and it hasn't been seen since. Do we know that this is the same truck in the surveillance footage? No, we do not. But the point of this is, neither does Robinson County Sheriff's Department, who I assume probably have no clue about this truck until watching this video. And that's the point.
Oh, hell.
From the gas station, Mica heads toward Lumber River State Park, a 40-minute drive. And according to police, Mica Googles the state park, gets directions, and when she arrives, she wades through knee-to-waist-high water in a restricted part of the park, and then takes her own life. But before doing so, Mica calls 911. Listen.
Robinson County 911, what's the address of your emergency?
Hi, are you able to trace the location of my phone?
Let me see. You don't know where you're at?
A national park.
What's the phone number you're calling me from?
843-655-5242.
Where's
Sorry, y'all.
the park located?
Sometimes that gets tink. You can't give out those things.
That.
In Fair Bluff.
Let's see.
I have my location on, I think, on my phone. Find my phone is on. I just did my my location.
Okay, I'm showing, hold on one second. I don't think you are in Robeson County.
What?
Are you at the Lumber River State Park? And
Yeah, that's where I am.
tell me what's happened.
I'm about to. I just want my family to know where to find me.
Oh.
Okay, ma'am. Just listen to what I'm saying, okay? Let me make sure I got the exact location where you're at, okay? Just 1 minute.
Just 1 minute. Ah! How can you not be like, ma'am, hold on a second. Talk to me. What's going on? And then immediately, panic button, send people to the location. Oh, no, I don't think it's, no, we haven't been able to find you yet. Hold on. Stay on the phone with me. Just hang on 1 second. Nope, it's still not working. Hold up. What happened? What's going on? Right? Oh, it's so weird.
In the call, Mica claims that she doesn't know where she's at. But how is this possible? According to the police's own evidence, she Googled where she was going, and it clearly states where she's going. Along with that, there's a massive sign at the entrance of the park letting her know where she is. And not only that, according to John Paul Miller himself, yes, according to John Paul Miller, Mica had plans to take her life in this very park.
So far, the four people she spent the most time with every week, no one's interviewed or talked to those four people. And one of those people that I talked to told me that she told her 2 years ago, if I ever commit to this place in Lumberton, the state park or something like that.
Directions on her phone, a massive sign at the entrance of the park, and John Paul claiming she had plans to go to this very park and take her life.
Oh, my word.
So now we have to question, is the 911 call fake? AI has been discussed a lot in this case, and I have to be honest, I've never considered the 911 call fake until I got my own fake phone call of someone accusing me of something that I never did.
Oh, hell, I remember this one. This is crazy as hell. Amanda, I do read them. It's hard to respond to everything, but I read them all. Don't worry, y'all.
Listen.
If he doesn't stop texting my daughter about he's going to jail.
Oh, hell, I remember this one.
Well, who is your daughter?
My daughter's 17. She's a minor, so that is none of your business.
Well, do you have the proof?
If he doesn't stop, he's going to jail. This is the phone number it's coming from. Is this Robbie Harvey that's on YouTube? Not Mica Miller, Everyday Mom? Yes, it is. If he doesn't stop, I'm posting it everywhere, and he's going to jail.
Oh, my God.
It's of my opinion that Mica's 911 call is fake. The question is whether it's AI or an impersonator, like the phone call that I got. And according to everyone I've spoken with, they say it sounds like Mica, but all of them say it's not her. And they may have a point. Just a few days ago, multiple 911 calls were released, and Mica is in almost all of them. Listen to her cadence. Listen to her tone. Listen to how she speaks. It's clearly very different than the 911 call made on April 27th.
Yeah, there's a laptop there that's got naked pictures of me on it, and
What?
and
What?
there's
What?
people staying at my house that I didn't invite into my house, and I'm out of town, so I was just hoping there would be a wellness check and make sure there's no cars parked at my house that I don't recognize the license plate of, or if you just take down those license plate numbers for me to review later, just to do a wellness check.
Are you able to trace the location of my phone?
You don't know where you're at?
A national park.
We're legally separated. We both have lawyers or pursuing divorce.
Copy.
And he took possession of my items while being hospitalized.
I will put this in here for an officer. I'm not sure what to do.
And it's my phone, my laptop, and my car. And my phone and laptop have naked pictures of me on them.
What pictures?
843-655-5242. I have my location on, I think, on my phone.
Where he's put his hands on me, and he's on an antipsychotic medicine that he's misusing. And I even got off the phone with the pharmacy. He didn't pick up his latest prescription, which he should have on January 3rd. And I believe at this point, based on the people that he's come in contact with, some of them reported to me that based on how he was talking, they feared he had killed and
I mean, y'all, that does not sound like the same person. Like, it's much different. It's not even like a little bit where you're like, oh, maybe she had a cold. You know, because sometimes you get a little bit of a cold, you start talking like that. No, it didn't even sound like that. Like, even the way she's phrasing words and like I mean, he says cadence, and I hear that, but I hear more in the spacing of the words. You know what I mean? Like, if you go back and watch my live streams, like, it's kind of the same rhythm and the same spacing and the same, I go like this and I'm like that, and then I'm like this, and I go, what the hell is going on? Right? And you can hear it and go, okay, yeah, I picked that up. The one phone call that she's talking right there, it sounds like, I mean, there's not a lot of space. And then on this other call, it's like every word that she says, there's a big old pause right in the middle of it. So if you heard my voice talking like this, it would start to sound pretty strange after a while, wouldn't it? You know what I mean? Listen to that again.
I'm about to and I just want my family to know where to find me.
That's about the quickest you heard it right there. Family where to find me.
At 1:38 p.m., Mica Miller leaves the gas station.
But who knows, y'all? Who knows?
And she does something really interesting. She circles the gas station. From there, she heads to Lumber River State Park, and at 2:54 p.m., she calls 911, and then her life has ended. At 3:31 p.m., police arrive. Then at 4:23 p.m., Mica's body is found with markings on her hand, and it looks like someone has grabbed her forearm. So let's say that Mica's 911 call is fake. That means from the moment she left the gas station at 1:38 p.m. to the moment when her body was found at 4:23 p.m., Mica wasn't heard or seen for multiple hours. We've already discussed that the route she took was way out of the way from Dick's pawn shop. Now take a look at the route from the gas station to the state park. And look what's right in the middle. The property of Tom Winslow.
AI. Who would have thought that in a legal scenario 20 years ago when I started practicing that AI would be the next lawyer? Out in Oklahoma, they just tried a case regarding a speeding ticket using AI, speaking to the defendant to kind of tell them what to say in terms of research. It's going to become more and more prevalent as we move forward in our legal world.
Tom Winslow is the attorney for John Paul Miller, and we have seen him a lot in recent weeks. But I do not believe that Tom is involved with Mica's death. Matter of fact, I don't know if Tom is involved at all, other than simply trying to help a friend. But according to multiple sources, John Paul Miller has access to Tom's property. And since Mica's death, several witnesses have seen him heading exactly that direction.
Oh, man. Desiree, thank you.
The day that Mica died has always been about what makes more sense. Do we believe the pastor who's been accused of being with multiple children and has text messages saying that he has dated 14-year-old girls? Do we believe the man who's had an affair with prostitutes and posted nude photos of his wife?
Dear Lord in heaven.
A man who went into a rage after finding out that his
Man,
wife
you
was
crazy
with another
as hell
man,
for that.
moving on with her life, and then he allegedly slashed her tires multiple times. A man who claims he hired a PI to prevent his wife from purchasing a weapon, yet she did exactly just that.
Show me a way out. So,
Oh, my
I'll remind
word.
you, like a bunch of people have been reminding me lately, that I'm God's bride first.
Yeah, that's true.
And even an earthly spouse who's a good spouse, when they know that their bride
is being hurt, just imagine what an earthly spouse does. What do you think your heavenly spouse does?
Oh, Lord. Oh, Lord, I got music in here. Sorry, I gotta skip it.
Friend led to this hospitalization, but yet last year allowed Mica to purchase an ice bath that sat in their very home. And when Mica decided to leave, he sold her ice bath, the one that she was paying for with her own money.
Oh, Lord have mercy.
Just one more thing. Back in February of 2024, hours within Mica being admitted into the hospital, John Paul Miller jumped on the phone. He began calling family law attorneys, looking for a divorce attorney. And he called this lady. This is Melissa, a paralegal at a local Myrtle Beach family law firm. Melissa, when someone calls you, what's the process when they're looking for an attorney?
When we take a call, I screen them to determine if it's a case that we can take at this time. And that can be based on just how many contested cases we currently have versus the time we could devote to someone's case. Also, maybe the fact patterns on their case. So there's various questions that we ask to try to get not just basic information, but a little more detail to determine if it's something that we would be able to take on.
Oh, hell.
According to you, when John Paul Miller called, you said that there's a lot of red flags in the conversation you had with him.
Yes, there were a lot of red flags. Yes. He used the words that he had forced her into the mental hospital and that as of that day,
You what?
she was in the mental hospital. And the call was on February 7th. He went on to say she'd been in and out of the mental hospital 5 to 6 times. He actually used the words, I've tricked her into getting help. And she's been in and out of the mental hospital 5 to 6 times.
Oh my God.
One of the things that stuck out to me in the call is that he continuously kept reiterating that he was a pastor. And it was like, okay, to say that the first time or two, that's fine. You know, you're just giving me your background. But when he continued to say it throughout the entire call, especially as he was talking about her mental health and the reasons that he wanted a divorce, to me, it was a red flag, almost like you weren't trying to just tell me who you were, but rather make me believe that you were a good person or maybe build some type of character. So one of the questions he did keep asking me in the call was, is my attorney a shark? Was his exact words that he used. And so I answered it politically correct. I said, well, she's very passionate about her clients. She will work hard for you if she represents you. You know, she will fight with passion, like it's her own case. That wasn't a good enough answer for him. He kept saying, well, I really need a shark. And towards the end of the call, one of the statements that really stuck out to me as a red flag is he used the words, I need someone who can destroy her, was exactly what he said to me.
Man.
I need to destroy her.
And I want to be clear. You
crazy as hell for that one.
At this time, had no clue who John Paul Miller was, had no clue who Mica was.
No, I'd never met either of them, never heard of either of them.
And according to you, John Paul Miller told you he wanted an attorney who would destroy his wife.
Yes, he made that statement. He made the statement about wanting a shark several times. And the very last statement he made on the topic was, I need someone who can destroy her.
Lord.
John Paul Miller saw Mica as a threat. She knew too much. Mica had the keys to bring down the empire. And she began that process. And he knew that she was serious when he was served with divorce papers and a protection order request days before she died. So after everything that I have shown you today, what makes more sense about that day? Suicide.
Oh, hell. Gonna hit us with the cliffhanger like that? Dear Lord. Y'all let me know what you think. YouTube, we got like almost 300 people watching. Hit the thumbs up. Let's get 200 likes. Let me know what you think about that, y'all. That's crazy. TikTok, hit the follow button too. Tap the screen like crazy. All right. Let's keep it going. Let's keep it going. We got a couple more videos to watch. Oh, it's Radiant Brett coming up next. Yes, we love this channel. We love this channel. And she's talking about a couple, like somebody I don't know, but then she's talking about somebody that we do know. TikTok's like, oh God, here we go again.
Hey, you guys, it's Britt. Tonight we're here with a little update on the Ballinger family.
The Ballinger family. I don't know who this is, but we're going to find out today. Make sure you follow. Go subscribe to Radiant Brit. She's pinned down in the description. Go show her some love. All right, let's keep going.
As most of y'all know, I've covered them for a very long time here on my channel, and they recently put out a video that I thought was noteworthy and might be interesting to some of y'all since I haven't talked about them in a while. And I also want to talk about Gypsy Rose
Who is that?
Blanchard calling herself a dog mom. Fair warning, it's going to get salty and I might be a little petty, but nevertheless, if you're interested, please keep watching. All right.
Oh, hell.
You guys, so the Ballinger family recently put out 2 different videos that I thought were somewhat interesting. The one that got more attention and more, let's be honest, revenue for Chris and Jessica was the one where one of their sons was doing a gymnastics challenge, and this kid was doing backflips and all kinds of stuff. Like, clearly I'm not a gymnast, but this child was jumping around on the trampoline and they made a video out of it. Wouldn't you know that that was one of their highest viewed videos for the last few months? Putting your child on YouTube in a leotard and allowing them to jump all around and whatever.
Oh, hell.
Got them the clicks that they have been so thirsty for. And I think it's a really sad situation to think that, wow, when we put our child on our channel in a leotard and flipping and doing all of this kind of stuff, that gets more attention than us as the parents putting together a video about us and what we have going on. The Ballinger family will never, ever, ever be able to step away from family vlogging because they have so many people that are parasocially connected to these kids, one of which I would like to highlight. I saw this person just commenting nonstop, and I thought it was very weird. Their YouTube username is BiddyMutter3481, and they are a paid member of the Ballinger family YouTube page, and they leave comments complimenting the children and saying, I like your hair, I like it, and naming the kids that they are pointing this, I guess what they think is affection towards.
Oh, hell.
These types of people on YouTube that have no profile photo and they are this invested in a family that they do not know, these are people to keep an eye on. These are people to say, why is it that you are leaving 12 comments directed at children on a family vlogger's page, and you are also going so far as to pay this family to get an increased level of access to these kids that you are very clearly parasocially connected to. That is weird.
Oh, hell.
Just like weirdo behavior to me. In this video where those comments were complimenting all of the children, I just thought this was funny. One of their kids is playing the ukulele. And obviously, for anyone that doesn't know, Chris is Colleen Ballinger's brother. And I think of her ukulele, toxic gossip train, nonsense, and then to hear that one of their kids is playing the ukulele, I thought it was funny. I didn't like laugh hysterically at it, but you could have cut that part out because you know that people are going to notice it, right?
Lately, he's got more of an interest in playing guitar lately, I think, from that class.
Baritone
I think.
ukulele.
He's also playing the baritone ukulele, but you're also playing that big Dave & Buster's guitar that you won.
Kind of backed away from that.
Now, aside from their really weird fans and a video doing really well that is showing one of their children jumping on this trampoline in a leotard, I'd also like to point out that This might not be a super popular opinion, but I don't care. They take their
Let's
kids to
hear
Walmart
it.
to pick out one outfit for going back to school, even though they're homeschool, whatever. The Ballingers have made
Rican,
so
thank you.
much money off the backs of their kids, and I'm not shading Walmart. I'm not sending shame or negativity to anyone that shops at Walmart. I've bought clothes at Walmart before. But I thought it was very interesting how it's like, okay, we've made millions off of you kids, but we're going to take you to the store, still make content about it so that we can get paid on this too. And you're allowed to pick out one outfit. We've made millions, but your allowance is one outfit.
Okay, Bailey, this is your moment. You can pick any outfit that you want to feel your best, your freshest for your first day of classes. So go for it, whatever you want.
Is that petty? Am I looking into it too much? Sound off down below. And like I said, I don't want this conversation to go sideways to it being like, oh, well, you're shaming people that shop at Walmart. That is not what this is at all. I am looking at the amount of revenue that they have made off of their kids' backs, and then to do a video and say you're allowed to pick out one outfit. I feel like that's hypocritical. I feel like it, really goes back to this whole idea of these kids are being used to pay.
Or maybe they mean like the outfit for the first day, because you can't wear more than one outfit for the first day, but you can have 10 new outfits for, maybe that's what they mean, or maybe not. I don't know. I have no idea who she's talking about.
Mortgages and vacations and buy really nice materialistic stuff. But then when it comes time to provide for them, the parents are giving them a one outfit allowance, or, for their first car, buying them some kind of beater car, even though they've literally.
Oh, hell. Marina, you never have a clue what's going on. That's accurate.
How dare you?
You're catching on to me.
Really made millions by
YouTube,
using
hit
their
the thumbs
kids.
up button too.
Does that make sense? Do y'all understand?
45 more likes, YouTube. Hit the thumbs up button. TikTok, hit the follow button. Are you new here? I see some new faces. Hit the follow button. Tap the screen like crazy. Let's get 50,000 likes.
Understand what I'm trying to say there? Either way, that's what's going on with the Ballingers. Same BS and a bunch of weird paid members. All right, now let's move on to
Oh, hell.
what I know y'all are interested in, and that is
Hit us with the Gypsy Rose.
Gypsy Rose Blanchard and her new boy toy Ken going to the dog park with his dog Parker. Gypsy, of course, needed to make content out of this. She is really just trying to vanilla and cookie cutter her TikTok instead of being snarky. I think, in my opinion, people in her circle that are advising her, like her social media team, they probably said, if you want to save this, you're gonna have to stop clapping back at people and doing all of this messy, toxic stuff publicly, because of course we know, allegedly, in my opinion, she's doing all kinds of things behind the scenes to try to take her, quote, haters down. So it's like we have this pregnancy content, then we have the dog park, then we have the let's try a pumpkin spice latte video. It's very vanilla and cookie cutter. The thing that,
Man, I'm about to do a pumpkin spice latte video tomorrow. Y'all want to see that? I'm going to drive my ass to Starbucks and be like, oh, hey, I've had quite a few of these in my lifetime, so it ain't special. Y'all probably want to see that too. Look, do it. Hell yeah. Put a pumpkin in the chat. If you want to see it, put a pumpkin in the chat. Let's make it happen. Let's make dreams come true.
Bruh.
So stupid. Let's continue.
really bothered me about this dog park video, I love to see dogs, out and about, having fun, enjoying life. That's not what I'm upset about, because I encourage that. This little troll literally had the audacity to
she called her a troll.
use a song by Meghan Trainor called I'm a Dog Mom.
Who?
The lyrics are, my bestie has got the best hair. I bring him with me everywhere. Yeah, it's a special kind of love we share. And yeah, I get loud, go ahead, shake it. Even when they make a mess, I leave it and they can sleep in my bed. Like, I'll put the lyrics on screen. The reason that I am so just appalled that she had the audacity to do this is because, as we know, Pixie, the dog that she wanted and begged for when she was still married to Ryan right after she was released from prison, Pixie is sitting down there in, you know, Ryan's apartment with him because Pixie.
Oh, hell. I mean, that is strange. Missy, Patrick, put on a wig and pretend to be Gypsy Rose. Then go do it.
You what?
Oh, Lord. Y'all just come out with the bangers. That would be funny as hell, though.
Was left in the dust.
Y'all, thehauntedSide.com. Go check it out. Get me a little pumpkin spice latte action. Apparently, I need to get some wig action, too.
Let's be honest. If Gypsy Rose had any desire to be a dog mom or want to use this song or make it look as if she is doing anything good when it comes to animals, then why did you literally abandon your dog? And as I've said in other videos,
and a cat. Remember, I made that video.
think if she had been making an effort.
I made that video on TikTok. I got mad as hell. They took that one down. I had to appeal that one. Then they went, oh, yeah, you're right. And then the other one, y'all, that I can't even say it because they took it down, but it was funny. They were talking about it was Flawless Nina talking about some craziness. It was hilarious. And they took it down. They said I was being mean. I was like, I didn't even say anything. I was saying it was crazy as hell. How is that me being mean? Let's keep going.
To see Pixie or, you know, take Pixie for a weekend, like whatever it might have been. I'm pretty sure by this point in time, we would have heard about that from Ryan or some other source that is close to the situation. I will say what I've said in previous videos, not to rant about it for too long, but if you want to call yourself a pet parent, a dog mom, a cat mom, a dog dad, whatever it is, I get it. To some people, that might just be a label. But for me, I truly consider myself to be a dog mom. I go so far above and beyond what the basic necessities for a dog is, because when we made the decision to get Axel, we realized that there would be a financial burden and a, you know, issues with like scheduling stuff and just making sure that he has a human available that he knows and he is comfortable with in a reasonable amount of time. Our whole life has been structured around Axel, and I wear that with honor. I have been, during my time on YouTube, you know, most people that know my channel, and they've, even if you've seen just a handful of videos, most people realize that I am a crazily obsessed dog owner, dog mom, whatever. And that has gotten me some negativity over the years. Some people thinking that I do too much, or I'm, you know, oh, you're not a real mom. You're just a dog owner. I have seen these comments. I have faced some of them head on.
That is crazy as hell. People really have like no life. They could be like, man, this girl's got a dog that she spends time with and cares about. I'm gonna tell her she spends too much time with the dog. Oh, they start rage typing with their elbows. Man, you crazy as hell for that.
And at a certain point, I decided, you know, I'm no longer going to engage with people that are this stupid.
Well, there you go.
But I take that as a badge of honor. And Gypsy could never stand on any amount of ethics or morals, because as I've said, she has the integrity of a trash bag. She literally has shown everybody how diabolical, unhinged, and
got you.
Unhinged bananas crazy.
Cruel she is. And you cannot be those things and
keep missing it, Pat. What do I keep missing?
Sit on here and claim that you are a dog mom. You are performative. You are a liar. You are a user and abuser.
Saw it.
In a lot of ways, because Gypsy Rose, what she does is she will use you, and then you are just tossed to the side. You are a pawn in her game, and her game is wanting to rub elbows with celebrities like Kim Kardashian. That is what she wants.
Who?
And as long as she's chasing that,
sounds like a made up name.
And using dishonest, egregious marketing, I'm gonna sit right here, right in my chair, and I'm gonna call her ass out every single time.
Oh hell!
I was asked about that dog park video.
There's KK, thank you.
A few times over.
Yo, hit me with those donuts too. Let's crush that real quick.
My Instagram, shameless plug. If you want to follow me, same username over on Instagram. I
do it, Radiant Bread.
Do respond to people that have questions or want to have a conversation over there. I'm not super duper quick to respond, but I do my best to get back to everybody. But I'm going to move on with my evening, and yeah, we'll just see what happens next. So for now, if you like the video,
I'm gonna move on with my evening. So later,
please leave a like and a comment. And if you'd like to see more from me in the future, please subscribe. I'll see you guys soon. Bye.
Do it. All right, y'all. Bam, 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 bam. Let's keep it going. Let's keep it moving. This is Conspiracy. Oh, what's Conspiracy got?
He is interested in blondes. I'm not blonde. I'm a.
Oh, hell. Man, it's about to get crazy as hell in here for this one, y'all. Conspiracy follower. Down in the description. Linked. Dead. TikTok, hit the follow button. Hit me with the donuts. Everybody hit me with one right now. Let's crush that thing so TikTok knows where to send people right now. And YouTube, we're still not at 200 likes. We need 31 more. So y'all, 31 of y'all watching, hit the little thumbs up button. Hit the subscribe button if you're new here. Let's keep on going.
So I go in the shower, take fingernail clippers, and just cut my hair off. Trying to do everything I can.
What?
To get his attention again.
Gypsy doxed your ex. Any truth to that, or do you know anything about that?
I don't think there's any truth behind that. No. Okay. I mean, I haven't seen it happen, so no.
Broke up with his girlfriend.
It's a mutual separation, but yes.
Because I feel like no one is ever going to love him as much as I loved him at that time.
Man, what the hell is going on?
Gypsy Rose Blanchard decided to message me on TikTok information about Ken Urker's ex-girlfriend. This is a screenshot of the message. I did post about this on TikTok as well, but some of you were asking that I post it here. So Gypsy originally had me blocked. So when she sent me this message, I didn't see it right away because it was in my filtered folder. So Gypsy messages me on July 26th and says, I sent you a message on Facebook. I sent you pictures of Ken's ex-girlfriend.
Facebook? Oh my God. People get on Facebook? People check messages on Facebook?
You what?
Holy mackerel. I don't even know if I could log into that.
I was getting so annoyed with all these rumors that, quote, Ken is gay, that I wanted to share with you the truth of his dating life before he and I got back together. He had been seeing a woman named Blank for 5 years before he and I got back together. Now, I did mark out Ken's ex-girlfriend's name because, to my knowledge, her name has never been publicly shared and she has stayed out of this whole crazy situation. I didn't see any messages from Gypsy on Facebook, so I don't know if she messaged the wrong Facebook account or if she messaged me and then blocked me, so I never ended up seeing them. But she blocked me after she sent me this message as well, so I didn't end up responding in this message. Now, Gypsy also messaged Ash2Trippy similar messages, but they had a longer correspondence. So for some background context, this was
Oh, I
around
think
the
we watched
time
her
that the
video
rumors really amped up
once.
that Ken was possibly bi.
Oh, Lord.
So Gypsy reached out to both of us, I believe, because we made videos talking about this on TikTok. This was also around the time where Ken lost his TikTok account because he was incessantly commenting on Ash2Trippy's videos. And just because I know some
Oh, Lord.
people are going to say that this message isn't real and that this didn't come from Gypsy Rose Blanchard because people are saying that on TikTok, I'm going to show you that these are in fact from Gypsy. So a lot of people were saying, why is there no blue check mark? So on the left-hand side, you see the original message when she first messaged me. And the blue check mark doesn't show at the top by her name because her username is just too long. But on the right-hand side, I took a second screenshot after she had blocked me, and now you see that it says account not found, and you do see the blue check mark. And as you can see, this is the same date, same exact messages. I'm also going to show you a screen recording.
Oh,
Where I go
Lord.
from the original message. I'm going to copy Gypsy's username. I am now going to switch to one of my burner accounts, and I am blocking out my messages
Burner account.
and burner accounts. I'm now going to copy and paste her username, and
Man, we live in a simulation.
I'm going to show you that it does in fact
People got burner accounts for TikTok. This is crazy.
bring up Gypsy Rose Blanchard's verified TikTok page. Now we're going to talk about the messages that Gypsy sent to Ash2Trippy.
Here is some DMs that I got from Gypsy. This is what y'all been waiting for. All right. And so up here, she's telling me basically she wants to send me some information and she doesn't know how to send screenshots. So I ask her, what are you trying to send me information of? And she basically tells me who Ken's girlfriend was before he and I got back together. And I'm like, okay, for what purposes? Then she gives me her name, first and last. He started dating her a little after. He broke up with me in 2019. They dated for 5 years, lived together in Dallas, and they broke up in February.
2019 to 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. I guess that would be 5 years.
If you look at her...
2019 was 5 years ago?
Bruh.
Oh, God. This is getting crazy as hell, y'all.
Emotional damage.
This damn rock is flying through space a little too fast. Slow the hell down.
Facebook profile picture. He liked her picture. That's what I wanted to send you. And I said, okay.
2019 feels like it was 8 months ago, y'all. I feel like I'm waiting on Christmas from 2008. I'm like, what the hell happened? Where'd everything go? I fell into a portal. I fell into a wormhole.
What? Like, for what purposes? What do you want me to do with this information? Like, I don't really care.
Now, Ash did send me these screenshots, so here's the first one that she just
Arrows don't age us, right?
went over. If you want to pause to
Oop.
read, it's basically everything that she just said. And then this is the second screenshot. So Gypsy says, no one knew who she was, and I wanted you to know that he nor I was lying when we said he had a girlfriend before we had got back together. Everyone wants to put out these men who claimed to have been with him, so I wanted to show who he was actually dating. I don't want to be involved in the mess, but as a source
Oh, hell.
that would like to remain private. She's a blonde chick.
So she's basically telling me why she's giving me this information. She is a blonde chick. She's basically telling me, contradicting, saying, oh, I don't want to be involved, but she's clearly involved. I guess what Katie Joy said about her finding pictures, that was true. She was very upset about it. I'm covering this portion because it says the girl's name. She tells me that the rumors do get her upset, and I let her know about all this. She tells me where it is at. And yeah, so I go ahead and tell her, is this what she wants me to do? And she said, no, I'm telling you that you had context. And I let her know where she could find all the videos and the proof of her man. So here's the last portion of it. Pause to read.
Okay, so
Oh, hell.
Gypsy says, I just wanted to come to you as a woman with what I know on my end. That is all. I hope you have a good rest of your day. Ash says, and I have also come with that, but thanks, I will check things out. Gypsy replies, thank you for hearing me out.
She did send photos to my Facebook. The photos were basically the girl's screenshot of her profiles, her Instagram, her Facebook, and a screenshot of where Ken liked one of her profile pictures back from 2019. And then
Oh,
there was just a
hell.
really odd picture with Ken in the middle of this girl and another dude, which really doesn't disprove anything, but they were like at a function of some sort. So I don't know what this was about. After this, shortly after this,
I don't know what any of this is about.
she blocked me. And she has me blocked on here and on Instagram, and I don't even go on my Instagram that much. But to everybody out here saying that
Instagram, people use that too? Man,
they don't understand why
I thought people stopped doing it for the gram in like 2017.
people are like this, she hops in my DMs. She hops in creators' DMs. And she tries to tell them to spread lies or to spread things so they can get all of the other stuff off of her. I guarantee you this was her plan. Plan was to basically get everything off of Ken by saying, oh, he had a girlfriend. And then everything is kind of not looking at them, they're looking at the girlfriend. So they can continue doing what they're doing.
Now, I agree with what Ash2Trippy said. Gypsy Rose Blanchard was willing to message two random content creators, Ken Urker's ex-girlfriend's first and last name and her social media profiles, hoping that we would post this information in an attempt to disprove that Ken was bi. And to my knowledge, Ken Urker's ex-girlfriend's name has never been publicly shared or put out anywhere. She stayed out of the drama and all of this mess for quite some time, and Gypsy wanted us to post that. And we all know what would have happened had Ash2Trippy and I decided to do that. She would have had people flocking to her social media profiles, messaging her, harassing her,
oh, hell,
making videos about her. We all know what would have happened. So the fact that Gypsy was just so willing to give us that information is mind-boggling to me. And it should also show that this is what Gypsy does. She doesn't want to be the one to put the information out there, so she'll message other people and have them do it for her, just like she does with Bree. She'll send Bree any and all information and screenshots.
Isn't that what happened with Nick too? Oh, hell. It's crazy as hell.
Shots wanting Bree to put this information out for her. Now, Ken went on Morbid's live stream one night, and one of
shout out to Morbid. That dude's cool.
the panelists, I believe it was Apple Charlotte, asked Ken if it was true that Gypsy had doxed his ex-girlfriend, and then Ken responds that no, that didn't happen.
There's word out there that Gypsy doxed your ex. Is there any truth to that, or do you know anything about that? Or
I don't think there's any truth behind that. No. Okay. I mean, I haven't seen it happen, so no.
So I'm not sure if Ken just hadn't seen Ash2Trippy's video about it, or he's just lying on Gypsy's behalf, because by him responding no would lead one to believe that Gypsy did this without his knowledge by sending me and Ash2Trippy his ex-girlfriend's first and last name. So now let's talk about this timeline. So Gypsy
that was you asking
says
that question?
Ken started dating
There you go.
her a little after he broke up with me in 2019. They dated for 5 years and lived together in Dallas, and they broke up in February. So Ken started writing Gypsy in 2017 after he saw the documentary Mommy, Dead, and Dearest. He and Gypsy then split in 2019, and then he starts dating this other woman. They are then in a committed relationship for 5 years. And then Gypsy gets out in December. He texts Christy, Gypsy's stepmother, while he's still in a relationship with his girlfriend. And then he and his girlfriend break up in February. Gypsy and Ryan split sometime in March. And then Gypsy and Ken are hanging out and seen together in April. So although Ken says that he and his girlfriend split amicably, the timeline is quite interesting. It does look like Ken broke up with his girlfriend to be with Gypsy, a girlfriend he was with for 5 years. And
Oh, hell.
as a matter of fact, after Gypsy and Ken first started hanging out, Ken's mother did a TikTok video where she's talking about Gypsy and Ken hanging out, how they're just friends, and how Ken has a girlfriend.
Now, to all the, are they getting back together? Are they getting back together? First off, Gypsy is a married woman, okay? Now, no one can tell
So, yes.
the future. I'm not psychic. I'd love to meet that Teresa chick, but I think she just talks to the dead. But I don't think the dead can tell us the future.
What?
But, as of right now, she's presumably a happily married woman, and I want her to stay that way. I want nothing but the best for this poor girl. She's had enough beatdowns and enough heartache for 5 lifetimes, for real. Let the girl have some happiness. In the future, Ken is, he's working, he's got a girlfriend, he's, living his life. I don't know what the future holds.
Shortly after Ken's mother posts that video, Gypsy and Ken do the live stream with Natasha Cooper. And during this live, they insist that they're just friends, they're not being intimate. Gypsy
Oh, hell. Come on.
is on birth control.
How would you know that? Oh, we're just friends, but I found out she was on birth control. I'm trying to get them sweet walls. Man, you crazy as hell for that.
And then Natasha brings up Ken having a girlfriend, in which he says that they split amicably.
He's already said what he does for work. He works at a bar. He invited Nina to come for a drink.
Yeah, come, Nina. I will.
He doesn't have a girlfriend. He broke up with his girlfriend.
It's a mutual separation, but yes.
Girlfriend.
Excuse me, mutual separation.
We also know from Gypsy Rose's Life After Lockup that on Valentine's Day, Gypsy woke up Ryan to tell him that she missed Ken.
Woke Ryan up. I said, I need to tell you something. He said, I was asleep. I said, I miss Ken.
Oh, hell. On Valentine's Day? Damn. That's heartless. How could you be so heartless?
Must have woke up quick.
He did. And he was like, you need to let that go. You need to let him go. You are married. And I'm like, I know I am.
Man, what? That should have been said long before you got married. Man, you crazy as hell. So, Valentine, what you doing? Long time no see. Y'all hit the follow button. Look, TikTok's doing its thing, starting to send people in, of course, towards the end of the live stream. Thanks a lot, TikTok overlords. Y'all crazy as hell. Y'all hit the follow button if you're new here. Tap the screen like crazy. Let's get the rest of these donuts. 57 donuts to go. YouTube, we don't even have 200 likes yet. We got 11 left. Come on, tap the screen like crazy. We got almost 300 people watching. Hit the subscribe button. TikTok, come over to YouTube and subscribe so you can see the videos. The Mystery Project on YouTube. Let's make it happen. Nikki, there you go. Shout out to Nikki. Let's do it. All right, let's keep it going, y'all.
But I think that we both need to come to terms with the fact that I have 2 men in my heart.
Oh, hell.
And he's still there in my heart. It's the day before Valentine's Day.
Man, that's divorce papers immediately. Adios.
True.
He could be in your heart and you can go be somewhere else. Later.
Not only did I call Ken 2 weeks before the wedding.
Why was she with the other dude to begin with? Like, why was she, or what? I'm so confused, but apparently she was with this dude she's with now before. Then she broke up with that dude in prison? Or when did she get out? Has she been out like eight days or like a year or 3? I don't even know. Anyways, where did the other guy come from? Ryan, where'd he come from? And then what happened? She got out of prison and then was just like, thanks, I needed a ride home. And then just like, that was it? I'm freaking lost.
But the conversation that Ken and I had, I was honest with Ryan about it. I asked Ken, I said, if you don't want me to get married, then you need to tell me now.
And what did he tell you?
And he told me that I want you to do what makes you happy. I think you should wait. But he didn't say wait for me. If he would have said wait for me,
you wouldn't.
So is that just
hey, you crazy as hell?
A random coincidence that happened in February, which is also the same month that Ken split with his girlfriend? I think not. Y'all, Lifetime is so messy. So Gypsy's not denying that she had been talking to Ken since February. Gypsy's show just aired and Lifetime just posted this redacted clip on their YouTube channel.
Ryan called me. He's like, guess what I found out today? I said, what? Is you've been talking that much since late February. I'm like, oh. I'm like, and then I'm like, so are you going to subpoena my text messages? He's like, yep. Oh my God, he's blowing my freaking up again.
This is why you just need to block him, honestly. Like, it just feels like it's just,
Y'all send me the crazy.
Pretty much.
What's the point?
Oh my God.
Back together. We want to wait till the divorce is final.
This is
come out and
crazy.
public eye with it. We had one visit, and he texted me yesterday, and he's like, "Are you having any second thoughts? You have always been my person. I never proposed to anyone else because I never loved anyone like I love you." I'm like, okay, well, all in. Past I was never gonna get back together with Ken because I can't trust that he's not gonna break my heart again. He realizes that he did me wrong, but I'm giving him a chance to make up for it. So at the earliest date, Gypsy and Ken had been in communication in February before she and Ryan had ever separated. This is also the same month that Ken says he and his girlfriend split mutually. Now, Ken says the whole reason he contacted Christy in the first place was because he wanted to explain why he actually broke things off with Gypsy, because he saw Gypsy and Ryan's interview on the Vile Files podcast. But the thing is that Gypsy says during this podcast that Ken actually texted Christy the day she got out of prison, which obviously Ken was in a relationship at that time.
You know, it's actually funny that you mentioned that because, you know, being open and honest.
Oh hell, this is crazy. I need to start being on some podcasts. Y'all, who's got a podcast? You need a guest? I'm trying to be on some podcasts.
The day that I got out of prison, Ken texted my stepmom and was like, hey, what's up? And she told me about it. And I'm like, oh, so now he wants to come around. And so I told Ryan about it. I was open and I'm like, you know, he's sniffing around.
Why do you think he decided it's time to pop back up?
Because I think now I'm free, and I don't think that he has respect for my marriage.
Let him know I'm in.
Like me, because I've called him names.
So which is it? Ken reach out to Christy first, or
Anarchy Faye? Is that how you say that? Anarchy Faye. It's gotta be. Hell yeah, tell him I'm in. Tell him let's make it a dream come true.
did Christy reach out to Ken first? Either way, it looks bad on Ken because he's...
Oh, Anarchy. Is that what that says? Man, I can't read names to save my life. Y'all know that.
Still in a relationship. And
I'm going to call you A Faye.
Then it looks bad on Christy because everyone knows that she was sabotaging Gypsy
and it might get shorted to Afe. What you doing, Afe?
and Ryan's marriage. before Gypsy even got out of prison. We learned that after Gypsy and Ryan had married, 4 months later, I believe it was, they were going to get an annulment. But then they ended up staying married. And Christy has absolutely zero shame over it. She has admitted that she is the reason Gypsy and Ken are back together.
Kasha,
This
thank you.
says, Gypsy Rose Blanchard found love again with ex-fiance Ken Urker, but it was her stepmother, Christy Blanchard, who reunited them. Now, back when the public was made aware that Gypsy and Ken had started hanging out and talking again, I made a separate video talking about Ken and Gypsy's relationship and what that was like while she was incarcerated, because there were several interviews that Gypsy did, because after all, she and Ken were engaged at one point, and then that engagement was called off. So if you haven't yet seen that video, I will link it in the description of this video. Definitely check that one out as well. Now, back when the rumors were going around about Ken being on Grindr.
Oh, Lord have mercy. That's that monthly spice and seasoning site you go to, y'all, and you get fresh pepper, you get fresh salt, some Himalayan salt, and you grind it up for all your food. That's what it's called. You know what I'm saying? You get that lemon pepper, put a little bit of that lemon pepper on your chicken. Just I should not do that hand movement. Well,
Gypsy actually commented on this TikTok page, the T page with T, and left a few comments.
I'm not doing the other movement too. Y'all pretend like you're putting pepper on something right now in front of your screen and tell me what it looks like.
So the first comment she left was, "They are just trolls with no proof." And then she says, "Actually, he had a girlfriend and I have seen pictures of them from the last 4 years in his phone, so please stop with these rumors." We had a whole argument about it, but deleted them after I said something about it. So apparently Ken still had pictures of his ex-girlfriend in his phone. Gypsy didn't like that, and so she made Ken delete the pictures. This is also the same time where she left the comment about Ken having good cat emoji eating skills. So I don't know if
burn hell for that one. You gonna burn in hell for that one.
Gypsy just didn't get enough attention from these comments here, because she did this first before she messaged us. So maybe this post or these comments didn't go viral enough for her to be satisfied with debunking the rumors about Ken, so she just decided to message me and Ash Too Trippy. So me personally, I just have a really hard time believing that Ken and his ex-girlfriend of 5 years split mutually, especially after he still contacts Gypsy while she's in prison and remains in contact with her family, that being Christy, Gypsy's stepmother. Even if it is a mutual,
that's a damn good idea,
breakup, you spent 5 years of your life with someone. So it's obviously going to be upsetting. Probably even more so that it's Gypsy Rose Blanchard, and that right after they started talking, she immediately gets pregnant. I just couldn't believe that Gypsy Rose Blanchard was willing to message Ken's ex-girlfriend's first and last name. Like, I really couldn't believe that she did that, because we all know how the internet works and how once information is out there, people then go start digging into that person's life and background. Me personally, I was just not willing to put that information out there. I did go look at her Facebook profile, and from the looks of it, her social media accounts are pretty locked down. I mean, you can't hardly see anything other than one picture. Now, I don't know what her social media presence looked like while she was still in a relationship with Ken, but for now, they are extremely locked down, and she could have done that just to be on the safer side, because there are people, obviously, who know she and Ken were in a relationship, such as family and friends, and I'm sure it would only take one person to point that information out if she were to be on a public social media platform. With Ryan Anderson, we know exactly how he feels, because obviously he's been in the public spotlight and with Gypsy, but Ken's ex-girlfriend We don't know how she feels about the situation or if she got her heart broken or not. I really hope that's not the case, but it's just really hard for me to think that one wouldn't be really sad about leaving a 5-year relationship.
Oh, sweet baby Jesus. What the hell did y'all send me? I guess I'm learning all the tea. Man, all right, I'm going to bed. This is crazy as hell. YouTube, 200 likes, we hit it. Hit the subscribe button if you're new before you go. I love you guys. Be safe. Go rewatch some stuff, and I'll see y'all